Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Maincast presentation of the GG.Bet Birmingham Invitational. I'm Kyle, joined by my pal Lizard over here on the right. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fine. Hyped for some, well, EU CIS Dotes.
You don't sound very hyped. You sound about the exact same as you do all the time.
I'm super hyped. Can't wait.
All right, so winner of this is going to go to to Birmingham, rather, to play at the ESL event. We just saw the teams announced. First, we're going to check out the groups. Group A is what we're going to begin with. I do believe it's Alliance versus Old But Gold, and then Navi versus the Pango. The winner, obviously, will go on to play the winner of the other game. Our second set of games today will be Empire versus BHG, followed by the Final Tribe versus Gambit. Yes, Black Hornets, notably the team playing with Pikachu as their mid player. They just qualified to the major, correct?
Sure. Yeah. They just qualified.
Cool.
They just qualified.
Hang on 1 second. My man, I believe we have a bit of a sound thing because I hear production at all times.
Yeah, I hear some
production.
I hear some Russian whispering into my ear, but it's fine.
Usually that's something I'm very interested in. Under the circumstances,
It's fine, production. You can continue. It's all right if you hear us. However, what do you think about the draft? Alliance opening up with something very casual for them. The Shaker and the Keeper of the Light. Shaker, what do you think about that hero right now, Kyle? Like, he's creeping back into the meta a little bit, isn't he?
He is indeed. I think it's about time, though. I think around TI, like the closer you get, the more people are loath to experiment and go back to like the old favorites. And I feel like Shaker's one of those heroes that as you increase the skill cap and the level of talent and just importance of games, he's always going to come back because he's got the longest CC stun train you can have on a 4-position roaming support.
Yep.
And in addition, it's instant. You can't react.
His problem was, though, like, he couldn't brawl on the offlane, right? We had, like, this 3 months of a meta in which it was all about these bulky heroes that were just fighting it out on the offlane, right? And if your position 4 couldn't stand and just protect you, he was useless. So Shaker, like, before he was good in these dual offlane scenarios, he blocks a little bit, he helps that out, and then he rotates around. I think what's very important with the Shaker is that you have a self-sustainable offlaner. Like, if you have something like an Enigma or a similar hero. Old but gold.
That's like the difference, though, is as you're talking about the brawl meta in the offlane. I think it's a cool point because previously it just felt like teams were saying, all right, what are the strongest side lanes possible? Let's get 2 of them, please, and just see what happens. Whereas now, because of the just resurgence of these more sacrificial offlaners, the 4 positions can now have a lot more of an impact, not like throughout the laning phase without just having to stick there and battle against the enemy support. You pull, you stack, you rotate around. I think the stack change too is finally kicked in, where now all of a sudden it feels like it's very value to have a support that's able to stack 1 or 2 times throughout the jungle in the first 6 minutes because you're getting, what is it, 30 or 35% of that stack clear.
It's not only that, it's that these heroes, these position 4s, like Enigma, actually, like a hero that has been banned by Old But Gold in the first phase. Like, you don't even have to play him on 3. You can play him on 4. You can play Enigma on 4 and just farm so much. And it's not the only support that farms so well those stacks. And I have to agree with you completely. Getting those stacks up early on, you don't even have to leave them for your core. You just farm them. Like, if your lane goes poorly, you go back to those stacks, you farm them up. Like, how many times did I see a Magnus in the last couple of weeks in the major as well? You just get that Magnus and...
It's funny bringing that up. So we obviously are going to be favoring Alliance coming into this event. Obviously, Mandara still standing in for Mikke, who is currently riding the bench due to some health issues. We're hoping him the best, and we do expect him to get better soon. Mandara doing well. They did make it to the minor, right?
Yeah, they made it to Dota pit. And what's funny is...
Yeah, Mandara beat all the Greeks.
He beat all the Greeks. All
Which
his
teams was it in order?
I think it was Spartan's teams, and then in the end he beat Pexu's team as well.
I think he beat Kazu's team in the middle. Team, he had to do the full gauntlet.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, I really love the Greeks. I love that stack, man. I wish they would manage to come back in some form, but remember that major, like it was just
I remember that one as well. That was a good time. It was the last major event as well in America, I do believe, outside of TI, which will not, of course, return. Kind of sad, to be honest.
Yeah, like NA got wrecked a little bit.
We got really wrecked.
Yeah.
Thankfully, though, Valve has been, doling out our major qualifier spots. So any team worth its salt has been attending every major. This year, this time, of course, we have the Envy Stack and Complexity going, although I don't know why I'm talking about NA Dota, because we got a Medusa coming out from All But Gold.
Right. All But Gold, actually. Let's get out of NA and let's talk about the CIS Dotes a little bit, because All But Gold, they have performed really well in the latest minor that they've been in. And this stack hasn't been around for long. Like, they've been around since January or February or something like that. They played the Dream League Major Qualifier, and then they instantly qualified for the Star Ladder Minor in Kiev afterwards, in which they did fairly well. They surprised a lot of people, and honestly, they looked like Gambit, but not as good.
Yeah.
You know, they look like mini Gambit pretty much, and their play style is very similar to. It's going to be interesting to see them.
Isn't it just that everyone in CIS has the same play style? I feel like it hasn't changed much since the days of like Blow Your Brain and Scandal.
Not necessarily, because like CIS, when I came into it, when I was molded by it, was just bloodbath. Teams were just fighting it out every second, all the time. Right now, like in the last couple of weeks, the usual meta in the CIS is you get that tanky mid laner that's going to buy Greaves as soon as possible, and then you gather up around him and you deadball. That was the case.
Of course, Medusa sort of fits into this concept as well, of course. And I think it's necessary you pick this big hyper carry that can clear waves. Notably, so Ulpa Gold, they take 3 cores that are all going to be able to clear creep waves, and they're what I like to call like sweepers, in the sense that they're always on map and they're always farming or killing something. If Dusa clears the wave and walks to your tower, she's going to hit the tower the same way Alesh would Edict it, or they could rotate through the jungle, TP, find some ganks, whatever. This is necessary when your 2 supports, Bane, Nyx, offer no ability to clear waves whatsoever. They want to play off map at all times. They can only do that if these cores of Ulpa Gold can stay on map, create a presence, and make openings for them to link up and find kills.
No, definitely. You have a lot of catch just from the Bane and the Nyx. They can rotate a lot with the Lash and Necro. These combinations, like what I really like to see from teams is combination synergies, right? Like how many of these heroes can work together to actually accomplish something, to either take an objective or take a kill. As you said, there are some heroes that can take objectives, such as Lash on the side of Old But Gold. But at the same time, you combine Bane with Lash, Bane with Necro. Like there's skill potential on the map. All of the time. You have the control that's necessary to even take down the troll before he takes that ulti off. Yes, that ulti off, yeah.
It's an interesting spot for Alliance now, because you look at this lineup, and I feel like you just want something to deal with these int heroes, right? Maybe some sort, Magical Burst, I like it. You got low HP heroes on the side of Ulpa Gold.
Yeah, something to deal with the Necro, something to deal with the Lash as well.
Really nice as well to synergize with the Shaker, because now you actually have the ability to find kills on the mid lane. You don't want to have a Dusa Lina matchup where there's no actual pressure to bring the Lina to the another hero to the lane, because that's what actually lets Lina dominate. Because you're threatening kills at all times. I think that I've got to favor Alliance here just because they have their comfort zone. I know for a fact that they trust Coddles. Like Insania just thinks Coddle is unbelievably, absolutely broken. They will pick it first whenever it's available. They got the troll. Just feels like a very balanced lineup. I think Ulpa Gold's going to have to snowball hard if they want to take it.
No, I'm going to go with you as well. I think Alliance, they have their comfort pick, as you said. Insania, his hero pool. There's Bane, there's Phoenix, and there's Kotl. If you give him one of these threes, like he's going to... It's not even about how well he plays the heroes. It's how comfortable he is on these heroes, which allows him to lead the game a little bit better, which allows him to tell his teammates what they need to do throughout the game. So I'm gonna have to go. We're not on a panel though. We don't have to. We don't have to say who's gonna. We don't have to do predictions. Yeah.
If you can just say at the end, right? It's my theory on talking shit as well. Why talk shit before you win? Because that can backfire. Just wait till after you win. Same way predictions work.
Yeah, but it's not as much fun then.
Correct.
Like talking shit afterwards, it's like, you know, it's useless. It's futile. Like if you talk before, that's why I liked PPD so much. Like he would always talk shit before his games. You know, he would call out people. He would create a little bit of drama in it. You know, a little bit of stress that gets into the enemies.
It's funny. It's the same. I was reading something about the NBA too, about how the problem nowadays is that people are just too friendly with one another. Everybody's boys. You know, nobody wants to burn bridges, so the rivalries kind of disappear. No one's willing to get up there and say, I don't like that guy, and I want to beat him because that. And then there's drama and there's intrigue, right?
No, I definitely agree with you. I think drama is necessary. It's not. It makes the fans more involved. It does polarize you a little bit, right? It does do that, but at the same time, it makes the game more fun. Like,
yeah, it's just funny though because you have fans like completely ignoring people that put in like tons of hard work. But you know, actually that's not fair because sometimes these memes are quality. Like, auto chess, by the way, Dota will always have superiority in my heart as the better game. But when it comes to the meme making, those guys are on point.
Auto
Потому
chess.
что при всем уважении к Нави и Панго, но у Панго состав, который до сих пор не объявлен.
All right.
So, we're going to head into the game in just a moment. We had a pause, had a issue, probably a bathroom break, knowing Dota players like I do.
We're going to zoom into Marlon Brando's face a little bit here, just to see that.
Arguably,
What?
Is possibly the greatest performance by an actor in a role. Probably not, honestly, but it's definitely in the top 20, top 25.
Yeah, it's up there. Of that movie.
You ever watch any other Brando movies? You don't realize how amazing some of these old actors were until you check it out. I watched Cool Hand Luke the other day.
You know what? Like when I watched them young, like black and white movies, even when you go that far back, and you just realize how good they were back then. It amazes you.
I think there's some stat like of all the top grossing movie per year since 2000, all but one have been sequels or Star Wars. Or sorry, Star Wars or adaptations
or sequels
from
or
books.
Adaptations or something similar. But you know what? Like the thing about movies is everything has been rehashed and remade so many times already.
Dude,
like
that's like no, hang on. There is some physicist that said like something similar in like the 1800s. He's like everything that's been discovered has been. There's very little left to do for science. In like 1895, and you're gonna tell me right now we're out of ideas.
I'm not gonna say we're out of ideas. I'm not gonna say that we can't make something that's good. I'm saying that right now, everyone is striving towards making something from a movie or a book, something that already has an audience, right? Because you know it's going to work out. You know you're going to get...
you know, it's interesting you bring that up too, right? Because it's somewhat similar to the way like even like internet ecosystem is where it's like it doesn't... If this person has like X following and this person has Y following, and it's like, you know, 5 or 10 times higher, this person's just going to get like hired for things or pushed into things just because you know there's more of an ROI.
Of course,
that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I mean, it's not a bad thing, but it's all about revenue. It's all about how much you can earn out of it, right? And that guy is going to bring you more followers, more viewers. So
that's why Bulldog's at all these events.
Well, it's one of the things.
Right? That's
one of the
reasons.
One of the reasons.
Well, it's definitely not because he's talented. Just kidding. He's hilarious
to look at. Come on, bro.
Long bathroom break.
How much time
nice
do they
set,
have?
though.
Like this is unacceptable.
Yeah, do you like the way the mid items have changed now that Wraith Bands were nerfed? I think it's about time.
I've even seen like the 4 branches or 3 branches crown or something like that. Yeah, I like it.
I think that's something, you know, that should be a video. We should make a video about that, Liz. It's just different starting items as a 1 through 5 based on scenarios. Because I'd argue that there's probably 2 to 3 max like base sets that you want to itemize with at the start of a game with like a possible alteration based on matchups or something like, oh, I need a sentry here, or I want to start with a smoke, or I really want to do this XY. But I think that side lanes have also become more interesting in a sense because you don't have safe laners that can just rush these Wraith Bands and be super OP anymore.
Dude, Silence since Enigma started buying rings of
giving it to the
offlaners.
Dude,
like
that happened to me. I hadn't played Dota in a month and a half or something because I'd been at all these events. And I go to the offlane. I'm playing like I don't know what the hell I'm playing, and the Enigma like keeps pinging me. He's like, "Yo, stop, idiot!" I'm like, "What the hell are you doing?" He's pinging this ring of regen.
He wants
I'm like,
to
"Wait,
give
are
you
you
the
throwing?"
regen.
I thought he was throwing the game. like I'm so bad that he's gonna give me items and then deny my lane and follow me.
But it's so good actually.
Yeah,
you go
he carried the shit out of me.
Yeah, you go with a bounty hunter offlane, you get that ring of regen. You basically can't be zoned out. We're not gonna see anything like that in this match, however. But we're gonna see that smoke that you talk about. Vanscore smoked up, warded mid. Gonna allow that Duza of his to farm a little bit easier versus the Lina on the high ground. Also gives some vision versus the Shaker, obviously.
It's also a core Shaker. Failed to note that.
Yeah.
That means it'll be a tiny.
We failed to know that because they didn't pick. Like, we transitioned into the game before we saw which players picked the heroes, and they weren't picking Shaker and Tiny, so they were discussing
Lizard might make excuses, but I failed you, stream, and I'll atone for that. It was my bad. We're going to have a little bit of a rune engagement. I imagine we're going to have Dire taking both bottom runes. Radiant probably will secure both up top, as it is just a lonely Necrophos in the lane.
Taiga just running about with his mango and boots.
Is that a thing?
It's a thing, yeah. Like, there's a lot of these position 4s right now that just start with boots and that's it. Like, not even tangos. They even ask for position 5 to give them some.
Boots do feel good, aren't they? I think for a base 300 move speed hero, they're now 45 move speed, where previously they were 40. So a slight buff, but it's also nice because as you acquire more items, obviously you're going to get...
You get arcanes faster, you get your bottle faster as well on Tiny, which is pretty decent, and you can rotate across the map easier, obviously.
And it's another, it's a really good point as well, because it kind of just demonstrates the way the meta's changed away from this super intense focus on lanes to all of a sudden now, we can itemize. I'm going to go boots, fast bottle, control runes, be active. It's just so nice to see the game recover back to this state. I think top lane could be tough, though. Coddle has a very difficult time dealing with heroes that have high self-sustain, as both Bane and Necro have. And in addition, they're so strong in the laning phase. They're hitting for, I believe, 65 and 56.
As a Coddle, though, as a Coddle player, like, what you can do in this kind of a scenario is you don't try to fight them. You just try to outpush the lane as much as possible. Just shove it into their face so they have to fight under the tower with the creeps, and then you pull, which is always a way of dealing with heroes that you can't usually deal with. You can't man-fight them. However, right now, they aren't really succeeding at that, as Necro is just healing the creep wave and himself.
And it's too difficult as well, because if you stay still for too long on Insania, Bane just comes over and hits you.
Yeah.
It's just you're just weak. You're far too weak until level 3 or 4 to really contest. So,
like, Kottle's biggest strength is that he's very fast, very mobile. Like, level 1, without boots, he moves as fast as some heroes, or faster than some heroes with boots. So, maybe juke through the trees. Mid lane, however, so far, 9-1 by Lina, 5-1 by Duzak G.
I think
it's doing a bit better.
Definitely Lina favorite bottom. Gonna have some trouble here. Misses the stun on BZZ. Velhir still in trouble. He's gonna take that last click from Madara. First blood as well, going to the carry troll. That's very important. We see that done so many times by VP, by Secret. Not just to give kills to core, but specifically that first blood is huge, because once Troll picks up those early phase boots, it's near impossible to stick in a lane against him as Nyx.
Boxy, however, they're going to find a counter kill on the other lane. They find that Boxy kill, and yeah, as you said before, Kotl plus Shaker, they don't really look way too strong. Oh.
It's the stun.
Have a toss, but...
Yeah, you don't want to go into there and chase into the...
Edict, yeah.
Too much. That's the downside of, and it's part of the way Alliance is choosing to play this that I quite like, which is to ensure that they're always playing in the creeps and that they're pushing it as much as possible. Look for a toss back again, but yeah, they're much too weak here, and their creep advantage has just disappeared.
I just love how they're playing on the edge, right? Like, you can see Alliance, they're basically, if they get hit by one of these stuns from Nyx, they're, like, most certainly they die, but...
Well, the theory behind that is, of course, that even it's better to risk death than to seed the creep wave. So even if you die 1 out of 4 times to that stun, right, you'd prefer that because the other times you're going to just be in this wave contesting. And it's always a loss if you just say, oh, well, I'm too low, I'm going to give this wave away, because now you're waiting for regen. The enemy team just got gold to buy their own regen, and they're going to be able to start snowballing an advantage.
One other thing that you can do, however, is obviously what Vanscore did right now. Well, he didn't do it properly, but usually you go and just suicide. If you have like 10% HP like Tiny did, you can always run into the tier 2 with your boots, suicide, port back into the lane. However, Vanscore did it a little bit poorly, and he gave all the gold away to Insania. Wasn't really optimal.
I think as long as they don't get the XP, I do believe if structures get the last hit, that XP is not given. If you're not in range, that is. There's just so much pressure. The problem with Shaker in this sort of lane is you got to get in melee range to do any damage.
And then you're running into Necro and Bane in melee range, which isn't really optimal either for you.
And I don't know if I'm buying this whole... Oh, we have a stun coming out, a toss back in on G. He's in trouble. He's got 6 stick and a Fairy Fire. Should be okay. Oh, what the hell? He's got triple mangoed by Vel here, TPing in. Only one of those was necessary. I do believe it might have just been the 2, but either way, save a buddy is successful.
And G is actually recovering a little bit. He's 16-4 versus 23 of Lina. He's not being doubled anymore with CS, so he's doing all right. It's not great, but it's a Duza mid. He's going to recover in the jungle eventually. And like, if Duza has a good start, like... on that lane, even versus a Luna, you can just roll out of control. Yeah,
I think Opa Gold have got to abuse their early advantage, because once their supports hit 6, they can immediately start getting active. Alliance does not have that benefit. And in addition, they're going to be able to snowball if they can just cramp Alliance and then create a ton of space for Medusa to scale. If you wait for the Troll to get online with then a Blink Shaker and perhaps a Shadowblade Lina, that movement advantage is gone completely, and now your Medusa has got to play far more conservatively around his own jungle.
I think there's a lot of pressure on Koikva to perform really well. Koikva and Tiny, those are my 2 heroes to watch on Alliance. If they do not perform really well, if they do not stop this Necro early on, right, let's see what Taiga is doing here.
Got boots.
Just saying hi, warding a bit.
Vanscore should be able to get his ward, though, because he popped like in division. Yep, and he got it immediately.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Used a smoke for that deep ward as well. Does have the 1 on the hard camp, however, just above mid. There's a bit of a dive on Madara coming out, but I think Nyx might just pay for it with his life, and he does. If Nardukes that stun, could potentially chased on for more, but instead will be forced to retreat.
Those are the rotations that they need. They need this Tiny and Alina to perform really well. And at the same time, Troll on his own takes a kill on that Nyx. That was definitely not what Old But Gold had in mind.
Something I think is really interesting to keep track of in these EU CIS games is just which team right now has that movement advantage. Who can find kills and create chaos around the map. Until Nyx and Bane hit 6, that's all Alliance, just because Taiga constantly... Now with the Gimli toss of his allied Lina, that's going to be another kill onto BZZ. Madara in some trouble if he stayed in that impale range, but he's going to walk away unscathed.
And
1K advantage.
Yeah. Falls on top, but it's not really something that he's worried way too much about. Like, he dies to the Vanscore, but at the same time, Boxy is farming. Boxy is actually 2nd in CS right now. And speaking of this Shaker, we expected him to not do that well on this top lane. It looked hard for him, but it certainly isn't. And I'm worried. If Illidan, he has 2 crowns. If he goes for something like Atos, I don't think that's the greatest idea. I'd rather I
would agree.
Yeah, I'd rather see him get these tanky builds like Greaves or something.
Yeah, who's buying the mech Greaves here, if not him? I think that's if I have a criticism for Illidan and why I feel like he's still going to perennially be like that B tier in comparison to the Ramses and the Miracles of the world is just that lack of innovation that we've just now taken for granted, right? You see mid one show up all of a sudden, he's going Buckler, and now everyone does it because they realize it's great.
Yeah,
as an example.
Or no one just buying Radiance on Razor.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, for me, Illidan is kind of a player that sometimes lacks innovation and sometimes overdoes it, right?
It's just, I think, because a lot of players, especially those that aren't on those like super top tier teams where you have access to analysts and a ton of data, you don't recognize the importance of items. And Madara, he's going to pop his ult.
And Taiga is coming in with the toss, perhaps. Oh.
Well played by Valhero there. I don't know if that was the right toss. I think you might actually have to just try and go for that kill there. He didn't recognize that Madara was still going to be forced to run forwards. Now there's another double stun coming out.
No mana, though.
10 stick. No armor, however, and
No
that
armor.
is far too much damage. Even a lowly Lesh will have the auto attack necessary to take out a teeny tiny.
A tiny one of those heroes with no armor to start with, so it's very easy to just right-click him to that, which is just what happened. Overall, however, what do you think if they do get the Greaves on Necro? Like, he's still going for crowns, though. I'm just worried for them. If this is an Atos build or something similar, I'm worried that they will not have the sustain necessary to fight Alliance. Oh.
Is he going to die here? He's got no mana. He cannot finish off with the Q, I don't think. He's at 130. Oh! Level 6 comes out just in time in order to finish off Illidan Stormrage, and Vanscore will clean him up, but a second late. In the meantime, Koifa, they're not only taking out mid tower, they're playing behind it and pressuring this Dusa. This is how you beat Dusa. Any hero like Dusa, like PL, like TA, you take their mid tower and you start warding aggressively, rotating through their woods, they've got no game anymore, and they're no longer able to accelerate.
You have to, and this is exactly what they're doing. Alliance rotating all the way around to take this triangle. This is the most important place for Dusa right now in the game, and if they take it away, and if they take it away, yeah, like they're gonna struggle. G is gonna struggle hard. They have to ward this. If he wants to farm around that shrine, they need wards.
Yep.
They need supports that are helping him do it. He cannot be doing it on his own. At least they have to be making moves across the map and forcing rotations of that Lina somewhere else.
Yep.
Because that's the best way to create space for your core, is to just force the enemy somewhere else.
It's got a bit of trouble, but I do believe he'll be okay. I like what Koifa's doing, though. You can see this. It is so important, even if his game is hurt slightly because he's forced to play so aggressively all the time. Koifa has to play enemy jungle because this then frees up Madara to take his own.
Yeah.
And even if the Lina slows himself down, it's just going to be better for the team in general. And to your point,
he has to be the one that creates space. He has to be the one that... I'm not certain what role he's building for, but if he's going for something like a Battle Fury, then definitely Lina has to be the one. Koifa and Tiny, they have to be the ones that make space and get rid of this Necro time after time again before he reaches that critical mass. Because once he does, all but gold, they're going to look to snowball. It's what they've done before. It's what they've known for. Yep.
And I just like to see, this is something you can usually trust Alliance to do so. They understand the game state and the script, the ideal script for how we're going to win this game is our draft versus their draft. The problem they run into is that it's similar to like the writers of Game of Thrones. Once you run out of books, now you're just improvising, okay? And that's where they have some difficulties, okay? The Alliance throw, as Insani would call it. A lot of ex-Han players have this problem. I had it myself. So as long as we don't get to like that 50-minute third Aegis,
they definitely, I've seen so many games in which it was obvious that they're winning, but however, Insania...
The Sun on the Lesh, though, I think that's going to be enough. The Will-O-Wisp comes out as well. The tower assist. Nyx with Carapace active in a teleport, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I am not sure about that dive. You knew a teleport was going to come out, and they're going to lose 3 off of that, making a rotation with their strongest core, sure, but you know, you've got a Necro in the jungle at the moment. Medusa's farming out middle, then he's going to walk towards the bottom jungle. I feel like you needed at least one of those heroes involved.
I think who you needed involved is that Necro. That's who you needed, not the Dusa. Dusa needs to be farming Necro, but what's Necro building into? That's the issue. He's building into an Atos. Is this the right build? That's my question. It's not going to be the item that's
it doesn't change the status quo.
Not at all. Like, I expected this Necro, like, this is what I thought. All right, Alliance, when they reach their timings with Blinks on Tiny and Shaker, they're just way too strong. However, if All But Gold get the Mech and Greaves on Illidan, and if they start rotating and rolling out of control, taking one tower after another, perhaps those Blinks aren't even going to come on time, so they'll be useless. But if Illidan goes for Atos, I'm not certain how is that going to impact the game for them.
I've got to agree with you there.
And Shaker is going for straight tags too. It's something that we've seen a lot recently.
And the Battle Fury rush on Madara, and he will be able to get the Demon Edge first, so long as he doesn't go down to Velhir. This will give him the opportunity, however, as this game progresses, to possibly set up for some Carapace on his cleave attacks while farming jungle. So it's a bit risky, much like Alliance, or sorry, Alchemists, you know, using Radiance, Snakes buying Radiance against Nyx can definitely backfire.
Yeah, Nyx is also one of better heroes versus Kotl, as you can always use that Carapace versus Illuminate, you can catch him. And I believe that's one of the reasons why they do that tier 1 on the bottom lane, because Kotl is very squishy and you expect to just blow him up with a few spells. He was a little bit too tanky for them there. got that level 6.
Well, he missed the carapace on the Q. That's the problem. I actually don't know if I agree with Nick's countering Coddle because in theory, Coddle spams blast and you carapace it and kill him, but good Coddles know that that's what you're trying to do. And all of their other tools are so good against Nyx. The ult, the blinding light to push him back. Like
the
you
problem
just spam mana for people instead. And top, that is a dead Necro.
Yeah, and that Atos of yours isn't gonna help you there. Not whatsoever. Not at all.
Yeah, Yules comes out as well for Koifa. He's got that in addition to the Arcanes completed already, so it is quite possible he goes for a Bloodstone, but it does look like an Aether Lens will be the decision. I like this Lina style quite a bit, the Spellcaster Lina. I think it's very good in a game like this where you're going to have unlimited mana thanks to your Coddle, and you've got so much setup. You've got a Coddle a Shaker and a Tiny to find the setup stun, and a Troll that's just going to go completely berserk in your front line.
Yeah, later on Troll is going to be able to take full control of the damage output, at least the physical damage output, so it's the damage that's necessary right now, and Koifa is definitely performing well.
You got the Spell Amp as well versus the damage. I like that decision. Troll's going to pop ult here. This is not... Oh, a Blink already up as well on Taiga. The grip is out on the side, but a huge Cuddle comes out as well. Earth Slam on 2. Pushback as well. Madar's going to pop the ultimate. They're going to take out the Bane, no problem. He's going to die. On the side, Koifa finishes off the Shrek. The Necro Scythe comes out. That'll take out Troll. There's the Atos you were wondering about. It's going to help in the assistance of taking out Boxy. Medusa ult popped as well. 3 for 2 exchange. Ulba Gold does win that handily. G going to go to the mid-wave and catch that creep. What? How did that start?
It looked much better for Alliance at the start of that fight. However, I think they got separated in that fight on 2 different fronts in which they weren't ready to fight. And Troll did pop that ulti, but only got Bane out of it. And after that, the Necro just used the site and handled him really easily. And now we see the full strength of Old But Gold when they are together. But this is still a Duza without, like, she only has a Dragonlance and Power Treads. But that gives her enough, like, raw HP to just stand and fights without being worried that she's going to blow up.
It's also a very much so an XP dependent carry in the sense that your farm speed is far more dependent on getting that Snake and your split shot leveled up. You don't need much more than this Treads Double Wraith to just be able to clear 2 sides of the jungle.
And speaking of an experienced relevant hero like Duza, she just needs those talents. Those talents make her so much stronger. So.
Yep, and that is quite possibly... Tiger's going to go in again. They will probably find Vanscore. Yep, they will. I love the Coddle Tiny combo. Immediately, he's ready to go in again with a combo.
It just refreshes
Yeah, they're going to play... Look at this Dire Ward. It was placed away from where you would traditionally D-ward. So you can see that even though Alliance does have the one, that's to get the hill just to the bottom left as well as the top right area. But this is like the next-gen ward. And it's really cool to see these mind games.
Of position 5s, yeah.
Dude, there's so much that goes into it, and no one ever knows or cares. But there's like these S-tier wards, right? Like the hill ward is S-tier. So... You don't want to place that, so sometimes you're placing it in the jungle. But because people realize, like, you know, I'm not going to do one on the hill because I'm not bad. I'm going to use the courier to scout.
Of course.
Now they're taking out some of these prime positions. So you place those C-tier, B-tier wards that never, ever get touched. Like we've seen Liquid place, like, I remember seeing them place a ward right in front of the Roche pit in the river.
Like, those wards aren't necessarily as good as the Cliff ward, but at least it's not going to get devoured. So... You get the benefit.
Bob, this is huge. They take out Boxy right next to the tier 3. That could be big. The Coddle Will-O-The-Wisp comes out. Boxy looks like he might try
They have
to turn
2
it around.
Atoses, though. Pog?
That's not going to help him. Alas.
It's also interesting that they both itemized the same way. Leshrac and the Necrophos. They both went with these Atoses. It's almost like they have absolutely no catch on a team that has Bane and Nyx Assassin, which makes it very interesting. But at the same time, they value the item a lot,
I don't
even
mind
after
it,
the nerfs.
Ty's going to look to toss back. I don't know if this is a play you want to make. Just stall, but the double Atos.
Double Atos, Pog. Wow.
Hey, they got him for sure. Dude, what if they stacked, though?
If they stacked, then perhaps it would make sense. But what do you mean you don't like it? They just used, like, both of them just using it on Tiny for...
Well, they really got him, though.
They got him, though. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the Necro will go back for the mech. So, in a sense, this is where, you know, it makes sense because while, yes, it would be nice to have a mech, it's that conundrum of if I itemize to go fight and then we take a bad one, my game is ruined. And the best part about Atos is that it allows you to buy double crown in the laning phase, and more importantly, that crown is purchasable from the side shop.
Yeah, those crowns are definitely one of the reasons he went for Atos as well. Just the ease of purchase and the good laning stage with them. I agree to that point at least.
See what we got here. Still well done by Old But Gold, just taking command of the Radiant jungle, and they're going to replace that same ward we were talking about earlier. You see the line drawn as well from Vanscore. He knows what he wants to do. They've pushed out bottom lane. This is key. So currently, Old But Gold is completely off the map. There's no vision from Alliance east of this smoke that they've themselves just popped. And it looks like we might have a bit of a brawl in this top side. Scan comes out, but Alliance want this fight. However, so do Old But Gold.
Yeah, but they won't have their Kotal on top lane. But it's all about who initiates first here. And Valheor?
He's going to go in immediately, taking out the Nyx. That is the key target. I don't know if you want to fight this if you're Old But Gold. You got to use a Nyx buyback if you want to try and contest there. He's just going to run in on Leshrac and get obliterated. The Coddle ult comes down as well. It's already a 3-on-5. G's going to pop his ultimate, but they take out the Will-O-Wisp. But will it be enough? Tyga's coming right back in. He's going to go in on Vanscore. Boxy leaps away with that new Aghanim Scepter as Madara enters the fray. He's got enough for his ultimate with that wand pop, but it does feel like Alliance, they've got to kind of dance in and out. Might look to go back in here.
They can definitely go back in.
Another toss back into the stomp from Boxy along with the Troll ultimate to ensure the kill. Necro goes down in flames, and man, I feel like you had to get out of dodge there once that Nyx goes down. I'm expecting a buyback based on their movement because we've just seen so many top tier teams make this exact play. Like, oh shit, one of our key heroes is down. Fight anyway. He'll be right back.
Is he though? All right, maybe he gets a kill here.
It's the break. Nice stick. Get him.
Get him. Come on. He gets him.
Damn, that was, I believe.
And he has Carapace. Can he actually survive this? Yeah, no, there's no way.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Let's see. He's running.
Unfortunately.
Nah, you can run through there. Like.
They changed that, right?
Yeah, they changed it.
Thank God. It's about damn time. That was so annoying.
Damn time. They changed it a year ago.
I know.
I know you do.
Just to comment on the situation we have at hand. Previous patches, he's just dead. He's got to walk through these damn towers. You know how annoying it is to play Bounty Hunter and that kind of stuff?
Of course, there's still a problem with the tier 2, however, as it can hit you in the trees right next to it, right? So that's not really great. They still have to change that. But after that is changed, everything's going to be good again.
So you're saying we should get rid of the trees? I'm against the deforestation personally.
Just get rid of the trees. We don't need them.
But you can see, look how farmed G is at the moment. He's approaching 12K net worth, and this is a little scary for Alliance. I don't think that their draft is built to deal with the Deuce in the late game. They need to try and take out his teammates. And you saw they played that fight where they get the initial kill, they get the second kill, they kite, they wait for their spells to come back up, and then they pull off a cool tossback combo to find that third kill. They need these long, drawn-out fights that are really more of a series of skirmishes, whereas Old But Gold, they just want to walk in, find that kill, start marching down a lane, play around that Deusa as their big bruiser in the front.
At the same time, though, Alliance, they do have this. They have these long-range initiation tools with the Tiny, with the Shaker, so they can force a fight on their own terms, which is pretty good for them. And after everything else said, like, Tiny can always toss someone back into them, like he did with that Necro. However, another good thing that I see for Old But Gold is the fact that they have the BKB piercing disabled, so that Troll, even when he gets that BKB, isn't going to be always able to just go ham. You have the sight, you have the grip as well.
Atos comes out.
Second Atos?
Oh, where's the second Atos? BZZ!
What is this?
I'm selling your Pugna set. We got a fight coming out, though. A stun up from Nyx. They're going to get the Medusa ult off as well. Boxy in some trouble. He's going to leap away. Double leap away, actually, because Insania hit him with that mana give right as he was, I believe, in mid-air. So that's actually super cool because Boxy could theoretically, he'll leap in, ult, get maned by Insania, stun, leap in again. You have a potential 4 different instances of stun Boxy could hit. Theoretically, it probably could be 5.
And it's also versus these heroes that don't really want to buy a BKB, right? You have this Duze, you have the Necro. These heroes don't, like, they can get BKBs, but it's not really the item that you want, right? So Shaker is going to have a blast this game.
My only concern is they don't have a core that's like naturally going to build to be tanky like Old But Gold does, where you're going to have just Necrodusa walking in. There's no one on Alliance that's comfortable at this point being that the tank. You know, the guy that's got to just kind of be the champion for the squad. It's going to be the Troll. But
it's going to be the Troll eventually.
If he gets initiated on, that's the prime target for Old But Gold.
Do you have any friends here? There's Boxy around, but...
It's going to be enough. Koifa's going to throw out the Yules. Immediately, here comes Boxy. They should be able to find the Bane. No, they won't. They're going to grip him. Atos. Boxy's going to go down for sure. G here as well to try and get that last hit.
Like, if he uses Echo there, he gets the Bane and he gets out most likely, with as that grip is not there. So I think he needed to Echo and just...
It's crazy how much easier you see it when you're casting versus playing, right? Like, I'm watching him walk away from the Bane and like, oh, that's not good.
And also, like, he's thinking... I'll maybe Echo here. I might kill him, I might not. I might survive, but I don't see, like, he doesn't see the rest of the team like we do. He doesn't see that Flashrack is just porting in, that he's not somewhere around with the Atos ready and waiting, or same with the Necro.
And I think it's important that he has that Echo off cooldown. You're going to have a BKB on Troll right now, was just completed. Bounty Runes spawn in a minute, and Roche is an objective. So there's just far too much on the map upcoming to utilize huge cooldowns like that just to get that one-off kill.
And when you think about Alliance and their team fight, it's pretty much the Shaker's ulti that's their biggest AoE control. That's after the Will-O-the-Wisp, obviously. But it's a spell that they definitely have to use in a good way. So. Oh,
nice stun. Will it be enough? They got both Atoses here. The stun comes out as well. There's Taiga with the toss back. That's 3 men right on top of the Will-O-Wisp. A double stun by Koifa along with the box Yules, but he's going to have a stun in a second. Ult comes out, double stun on the other 2. BZZ uses himself, but it's in vain. Boxy's going to land a hammer as he comes down, and it's just a straight, quick step over to the Roche pit for Squad of Alliance.
That's just Insania and his scuttle. Like, Shaker baited out perfectly there. I'm not even certain if he knew that Nyx is going to go for him or not, but Insania was in good position. Will-O-the-Wisp, instant follow-up.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like the 2 biggest mistakes that Old But Gold made so far in this game both started with Velier, trying to make a play underneath the Tier 1 tower and getting totally screwed by the Insania Coddle. You're playing into his hands when you try and make these plays.
I think what they didn't expect there is the Force Staff that came on the Shaker. The Force Staff completely changed the... there we go, Insania with the Force. Just save the Shaker at the same time, use that ulti. Perhaps he didn't expect Insania to be there in position instantly.
Where is he going to be if he's not there?
He's going to be somewhere farming.
We were just talking about Bounty Runes and Roche, right? That's my concern with that play, and that is what holds back a lot of squads, really, in Dota 2, is just understanding your timings. Like, when, this play might be, maybe it still goes poorly, but if you do that at 26 instead of 25, you're not losing this map control. You're going to have ultimate coming out from the site. Ba-bam.
Oh, is that a Skadi?
That is.
All right, Manta Skadi Dragonlance.
Level 20 as well. You were talking about it.
This Duza hits very hard right now.
And this is what I'm scared for Alliance for, because it's been cute the way they've been playing the game so far. A lot of pickoffs, a lot of cool counter initiations, but what are you going to do when OBG just starts walking down the lanes and you've got nothing that can start poking at them? Oh, if they find Boxy, it's huge.
They don't have the sight here, though.
Yeah, it's 4-on-5. This is the play you want to make. Go for it. You're going to get the stun off. They're going to chase forward. There's the buyback from Insania. Immediate force back. Chasing forwards on Devel here. He's got Carapace up in a second. Dusa ult was popped. That should be able to counteract the Will-O-the-Wisp. 5-on-5 still.
Dragonlance helps there with the Will-O-the-Wisp. I think that's really good for Old But Gold that they got out, as that could have went a lot worse for them. They're still fighting into an Aegis, and Insania just buybacks instantly. That Shaker, that's not a Blink Shaker, that's an Aghanim Shaker. You don't blow him up that fast any longer. So.
Do you like the decision for Ags? It's a Boxy special. I think he was really the first one to start doing it.
He might have been the first one, but there's a lot of Shakers right now that play position 3 that rush Ags. Like,
it feels good to have as an item, and it's just more reliable than Blink in many situations. Plus all the raw stats. And the cooldown,
obviously. Plus with the Kotl, it just works so well for him. I agree with the Aghanims, definitely.
Yeah. I like that Taiga has a force as well. It's all, again, it just, you can just see, like, even Alliance, they're using the buyback on Insania before they start the team fight. Just, they check all the boxes, and it really is just demonstrative of how complete as far as preparation and understanding this team is and the way they approach the game. Because it's just so important that they continue to make skirmishes happen. You kite the big fights, you toss back, you force away, and you bring OBG closer to you.
I love how he's farming right next to their shrine, but they're all around him, just prepared. If something happens, if something goes wrong, they're going to help him. They're going to save him.
Atos comes out on the trouble. Nyx now with no carapace. I think that's going to be a dead Nyx. Maybe Valhier's going to get popped. Scotty, oh, does he have dunk? Oh, that was scary. What a grip. Holy crap. That's Madara gripped from the high ground from the Bane. He is a screen away. Still a DD, but now it's going to be taken away. He's got his ultimate ready. Pops the BKB as well. Still has the Aegis. The sleep defensively to peel him away from the Necrophos. Now he's going to be locked onto the Mana Styles as OBG just kite backwards. In comes Taiga once again with the double stun. The Aether Lens popped on the ledge. He'll survive for just a moment. Necro is dead, however. Koif is going to force himself away, but he's going to go, no, he's going to get forced away. He will miss the stun. Boxy now with the big two-man ultimate, takes out Vanscore. Looks like BZZ is going to go down. G now left alone all by himself, and there's just too many stuns on the side of Alliance. They're going to wipe him out. 5-4-0, well, thanks to the multiple buybacks.
Yeah, Shaker bought back as well. He went in and just cleaned them up with that Echo. They decided to fight into Madara Aegis. They thought that they had enough control, but they wasted that grip before the Aegis was popped. He pops the BKB afterwards, just goes ham on them. The way Taiga plays in and out, those two items, Force and Blink Dagger, they allow him to always... If you remember how Slardar was played when he was on 4 all the time, it's basically you get Force, Blink Dagger, you run in, you stun, you run out. You run in, you stun, you run out. Something very similar how Taiga plays the...
Oh,
the
nice double stun. But Boxy is still here, however.
Is there any follow-up?
We're going to get the stun off on Nyx. Oh, God, Koifa, no! Not like this! Kills himself on the Carapace, gives away his godlike streak as well. They're going to continue pursuing. God, if that... Whoa! What were we just saying about Alliance? Right as we hit 30 minutes, the wheels come off the train, the map is lost, the conductor's in the toilet, no one knows what the hell's going on. And
it's Koikwa just giving a 10 kill streak to Nyx, to his Carapace. Not really something that's a strategical mistake, just happens mechanically for Koikwa every now and then. It's alright.
Look
at that medallion, by the way, on Shaker. He has a medallion, Aghanim's medallion. That's an interesting thing. I haven't really... Oh, here we go. Oh, well, okay. So we saw him disappear. We saw him burn after. At least that was given to us. Troll, actually, you know what? Like, Madara is one of those guys that plays Troll insanely well. And at the same time, Troll is one of those heroes that can deal with Uza. Like, with that BKB, it's like you can run her down. You ensnare her, run her down. Like,
however, the Scotty makes that difficult.
It does.
And we just had an MKB finished up for the Dusa as well. That is the concern.
Yeah, it does make it a little bit difficult, but it's not the worst matchup. Even if that Dusa does scale really well, even if you let her out farm, you can still have this fallback option in that Troll. So that's all right. What's he going for? And you can see like Dusa is going for BKB next. It's not optimal. It's good, but it's like he's forced into it. He hates being kited. He hates being controlled. He hates being controlled by Tiny, by the Shaker, by everything basically on Alliance. So he has to go for that. But it's not an item that's gonna like just make him this beast that he's...
I actually think Trolls feel the best when you don't need to buy BKB, and you can instead replace it with a Sanjin Yasha into the faster Satanic. Because you just abuse status... exactly. Yeah. You abuse status resist, and you're just so tanky that you're almost untargetable. Whereas now, as you say, he's going to be forced to play around this cooldown, and they got multiple methods of kiting him throughout it. And you saw in that last fight, before Aegis popping the ult and the BKB, if he were to do that in the future, he could be very susceptible to just catching a Carapace and immediately being 100-0'd by a Scythe.
Last time he had Aegis, so it was very difficult for All But Gold to approach that fight properly. They want to control... Oh, Insania. Side? No, the Yules is there.
Whose Yules was that?
I think Koikwa. From the high ground with
with Aether Lens and the cast range talent.
He saves his scuttle there. He was going to get sighted there 100%.
Yeah, he's got the Ags completed as well. It's an interesting build. And Boxy's going to go in. I think this might be a dead Lesh, but he does have that Aether Lens.
Atos. Still.
Won't be able to kill him through it. Maybe now Koifa's going to miss the... Oh!
Oh.
He gets it on Nix just before.
I love how he didn't Laguna.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, boy.
I've
I'm
tried
out.
this before. Boxy, yeah, he's going to be fine. They do get the bottom tower.
But you know what? We were talking about this before. This is Alliance. Like, they've been burned so many times by their mistakes that they're afraid to make moves that are obviously going to work. Like, that Laguna hits, that would connect 100%. But he's like, nah.
Nah, bro.
Not going to try that.
A little bit of PTSD. I don't blame him, though. It's also dying to Laguna, especially as Alina, like, is jarring. You know, it's like a jump scare in the middle of Dota. He's like, whoa!
Yep.
Like, what just happened to me? And now you have 80 seconds to consider your mistake. Yules onto the Lesh. He's going to self-Yules himself now. And they need to blink away. The stun. This is going to be a dead Taiga. There's the ult. And he will now be in the grave for a full 92 more seconds. That should give plenty of time to Old But Gold to try and get ready, prepare for these bounty runes that are going to be spawning in about a minute 40.
They're becoming so tanky on the side of Old But Gold that even if Alliance plays everything correctly, it's going to be hard for them to take these targets down easily. They're going to need those prolonged skirmishes that we talked about earlier, but at the same time, if you're having these prolonged skirmishes versus a hero such as Necrophos, like he's not going to mind that.
The thing is, even though sure OBJ's team fight is going to continue improving, you can see even, yeah, there's the XP difference. It's because Alliance is able to clear so many more waves because they're moving faster around the map. This is where Koifa's itemization comes in. He's got Blink and bots constantly shoving waves. Same with Troll. And yeah, sure, you might be able to win these fights, but Alliance, if they continue to play this kind of rat Dota skirmish style, as you've been saying,
yeah, but
they can pressure buildings faster and better and perhaps just create these 3-on-3, 2-on-2 cross-map scenarios where they have that big advantage.
So you're saying Alliance should basically just split push, create an numerical advantage on one side of the map, and then fight?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It does make sense because they do not look strong enough to fight 5-on-5, and Desimpale did not connect.
Koifa!
Oh, all right. See you later.
That was all the Aether Lens blink there, getting out of range
They
of
still
any
see
sort
him,
of
but
Vancro spells.
He's running towards the shrine, towards that high ground, but he has no support there, it seems.
No. I like that decision, actually, from Alliance. Bounty runes are spawning. If you commit all these heroes to teleport in, you'll most likely... It's the unknown, right? And they've already made a couple mistakes this game. They don't want that fight. And with no one showing on the side of OBJ, you don't want to go into your own jungle to potentially save an ally but force a team fight, especially with Roche up. And they're going to walk straight into it. The Satanic is complete. Boxy in here as well with the medallion. You got to get over here, OBJ.
They are here, though. They're very close.
But this is a fast Roche. He's going to go down in the next 5 seconds. You got to get in here quick. I don't think they have the ability to do so. There's no real initiation. They can't.
Hello?
Who's going to walk in? They have no real blink stun. They're going to find Vanscore on the side. Tiger's going to throw the tree. That won't be enough to take him out. They're going to kite back. Maybe look to re-engage. Madar's going to come in. He pops the BKB. Valiar in a lot of trouble. Ultimate on Necrophos. They're going to be able to drop the Will-O-the-Wisp as well, but G is taking it out. Pops the Stone Gaze as well. BCC chased out the fight. There's nothing they can do. Box is going to leap away, but you can see they're just playing on the outskirts of the fight. Alliance continuing in and out, in and out. They're going to get the toss back in just a second. It looks like the buyback onto the Nyx Assassin. He's here, gets the Carapace off, but G is exposed. He misses the stun on the Troll. He will get used in the air. Now another Yules from Koifa. He's going to catch a stun as he comes back to the earth.
Look at him go. Those are right there.
The cheese is forced to be popped, but another toss back from Taiga. They find the second opportunity to kill Nyx in this latest engagement, and now all of a sudden Alliance, they can look to start walking down lanes.
They can just go high ground at the moment. There are no buybacks, no buyback on Duza, no buyback on Nyx, as he just died twice, as you said. That was very sloppy from Old But Gold. They just didn't go to that.
I don't agree. I think Alliance is playing it how it is supposed to be. Their mistake is taking the fight at all, but once they're in it, they're in it.
I'm saying that they did not go into the pit fast enough. They have the snakes, so you can't go in with the Carapace. The Duza ported, like they pinged the shrine multiple times before he started porting in. I think there was some communication issues there, because you know that they went into the pit, you know what items they've got, you know that they have a troll. You should be ready, and 4 of them were ready. They were around.
And it has to be G. It has to be G. Like, the way you defend the pit is G walks into it.
With the BKB, right? Yeah. You have this Duza with the BKB, just walks in there, creates enough space for everyone else to follow up.
Alliance will always have the initiation advantage. G has to remove that by creating instances where he is the only target. Alliance, if you keep giving them these easy freebies, they're going to keep taking them. Another kill onto Illidan, and that could be it almost. You got 2 racks dead. Necro down for another 70 seconds, and Alliance, all it's left to do is a bit of cleanup, collect some shrines, perhaps.
No, Duze is up in 15, almost. So perhaps because of that, Alliance is gonna go a little bit back. You can see that Lina has already went back towards that shrine. And All But Gold, they don't really want to give up because they do have that Duze, right? It is a hero that can always win you the game, but right now it's looking very rough, and I wouldn't be surprised if Alliance just went and too high ground to take that last side without even waiting for a team fight. They still have the ages.
Yeah, they're going to have a BKB soon on Boxy too. Wow. Koifa up top killing that shrine. Just a really good job. So they pushed in top wave, mid wave, they killed the Raxes. You have Insania, arguably like your weakest member of the team at the moment, just based on ability to battle. He clears the dead lane, bottom.
Yep.
Koifa takes top shrine, you take bottom shrine as a squad. It's just a very efficient way to stay present. And now you can collect your fresh items. A pipe finished on Tiny. There's going to be a BKB complete on Shaker and on Lina. You collect yourselves and you do the Congo all the way down to this final Rex.
That team fight around Roshpit, that should have been done a little bit faster, but by Old But Gold, they should have went in a little bit faster, and now BZZ is caught actually.
That might just be the mistake that ends the game. It feels like Alliance, they played a good game. Oh, nice double stun from Boxy. Gets the tail end of that Fisher onto Vanscoy. Don't know if it would have been completely necessary, but nevertheless, looks good. They're going to chase onwards.
Yeah, they see G here.
Oh, this is not where you want to be, buddy.
Has a BKB. Perhaps BKB TP out.
Boxy, this is getting a little aggressive here, but this is all just space. It's all just space, and Boxy, he's still got a Yules.
Bottom lane. Like, bottom lane, they're
on the Rex
pushing,
already, and he's TPing out. You can't do that. He's going to get fissured. Oh, no, Boxy lost vision there. Did not actually see the teleport come out without a BKB, so that would have just been the game right there, were G to have his teleport stopped. But instead, they will back.
He's not going to catch him. However, Madara, perhaps.
And
BZZ is on a hunt.
Fighting the bottom lane, or top as well. Boxy and Koifa are going to finish off the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, he's only dead for 50 seconds, though. He's not really leveled. And
I don't know if I agree with this Leshrac itemization. I just think OBJ, they didn't really understand the game state that they needed to win this game. As you said, it really comes back to this Roche fight, and just Nyx can't initiate. There is no initiation. You need Lesh, Necro, Medusa all at this point where they can accept the damage and say, you know, mess with me, go for it. The Aether Lens, I get it, but it was so early. It slowed and hampered his item progression, and I feel like this Lesh could be so big right now, whereas instead he's actually behind Boxy.
Yep.
As far as net worth goes, G gets the ult off along with the Stone Gaze. Boxy going to go forwards, gets the stun onto BZZ, hiding somewhat safe in the trees. Look at the Arcane, and you just can't stop this guy.
You just forced the BKB, you just forced that Duza's ult, and now you can go ham right at them. First is the bait to fall, now G. He's being hunted by Madara. He's angry. He has that BKB. Boxy with his BKB as well, helping a little bit out.
They lost the Aegis, but it doesn't even matter. There's another stun coming out onto Illidan. He's going to get Lagooned as well. He is dead, 100-0 in that stun lock. Madara finishing off BZZ as well. The Aether Lens comes out, but that's just not going to do a damn thing. He's yielded up into the air. He's going to go down. Boxy with the triple kill. Alliance looking to close this out in style.
Another toss back by Taiga. Oh, maybe he gets the Shaker again, but no, not this time, Boxy says.
One more.
And that's GG. Ultra kill by Boxy. Not giving him that rampage, however, but in any case, I have to admit, Alliance, they have executed this really well. It's not only on All But Gold's like sloppiness or slowness around that rush pit.
Yeah.
Like, if Duza ported a bit earlier, then they could have fought. But at the same time, Alliance were so quick about it. Lina ported from the bottom, ran out top. Instantly, they go into the pit. The medallion, the damage from that roll just makes it gone in 15 seconds.
I call it like, it's a thing in economics, but it's really true in Dota, like first mover advantage. You want to be the one dictating the tempo, dictating the pace. And it really felt like no matter what happened, even through that small period where the Dusa was so far ahead of the game, felt like Alliance was always in command. Maybe not of like the whole map, but at least how they were going to win, what they had to do, they knew. And OBJ, they just seemed a bit lost, not prepared for
these. OBJ, they looked like they're itemizing to survive, while Alliance looked like they're itemizing to kill them, to get the kills, right? And like you see this Aeon Disc on the Leshrac, like, all right, it's good, but if you don't utilize it, if you don't go and dead ball with that, if you don't have this Necro with Greaves early on, and you just pressure Alliance, they're going to get these pickoffs left, right, and center, which is going to open up the map for them to play the way that they want, because they've set the tempo. And then they're controlling the moves. They find the right time to take that rush, and they win the game.
Yeah, I like that sort of item on a Lesh when you're like the one that's. It's a good item on heroes like Pugno. It's like, this is the target. We're killing this guy. But Lesh isn't really the go-to for Alliance to take out. They're really just looking for anybody that isn't Medusa. And I feel like it's now the responsibility of everyone on the team to say, look, we're going to just buy these teamfight items. We're staying alive. Like, I don't even think anyone had a Vlad's in that game. I don't think that there was a medallion picked up on anybody. And it's just tough to win games with a Medusa. In a Medusa game, in a troll game, there's so much physical damage at hands, and you're just missing these critical support items that are hyper effective when you've got a hero like Dusa. Give him 50% more damage onto 5 targets.
Yeah, definitely. And you could see later on that troll didn't really care about the Dusa. He would just go ham. That Skadi is good, but if he keeps you rooted in place, it doesn't really kite him way too well. So.
Yeah, well, that'll do it. Alliance is going to take the series 1-0, as it is just a BO1. They're going to play the winner of our next series tomorrow. It's going to be the Pango versus Gambit?
Navi? Gambit? Navi or Gambit? One of those.
We should know, but we don't. But it's fine.
Navi Pango.
Yeah, we're going to throw it to a break, though. We'll catch you in a bit. We'll be back in about 10-15 with that game.
Place your bets at GG.Bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at GG.Bet.